All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen. We are doing our final review over slope and graphing. So these are the things that you missed most on your final, and we're going to go through them and make sure that we are ready to go on the day of the test. So the first thing we need to cover is graphing our quadrants. So you're going to see a coordinate plane, and you're going to be asked, where does a point lie? Don't forget, we've got our x-axis and our y-axis. Whenever we are graphing a point, it is going to be x, comma, y. So our x comes first here, and then our y. So you go ahead, you tell me, where does point F lie? Write it on your paper. Where does point F lie? All right, I hope that you did this. 2, comma, negative, not negative 1, Miss Packard. Not negative 2, it is negative 1. 2, comma, negative 1. If you didn't get that, you need to ask a question now. So raise your hand, have me come over, and I'll help you. So 2, comma, negative 1 is where the point is. You should be able to graph all of those points. The next question will be, which quadrant is point B in? Well, first of all, we have to know, where are the quadrants? So think to yourself for a moment, where are the quadrants? If you can go ahead and label those on your graph, there's 4 of them. Quadrant means 4. So where are the 4 quadrants? All right, this is kind of what I'm thinking. So to do the 4 quadrants, you're going to have, here's your first one, here's your second, here's your third. Remember, we use those Roman numerals, and here's your 4th quadrant. So when I'm asked which quadrant is point B in, well, I'll find B. All right, everyone see B right there? Okay, so that is in the 2nd quadrant. All right, so it's your turn. Which quadrant is point D in? It's in quadrant 4. You might want to write this down, make sure that you're remembering this for the final. All right, if you're not sure about your quadrants, you need to raise your hand, have a teacher come over and help you. Next thing we need to cover is slope. So it's going to ask you, what is the slope between A and F? There are a couple different ways you could do this. My favorite way is drawing a triangle. I'm going to look at points A and F, and I'm going to draw the straightest line that I can. And then I'm going to draw a triangle there. Now, if you notice, I could draw a triangle here and here. I could also draw my triangle here and here. So if I draw my triangle in, I'm going to do my best to make it straight here and here. So we need to count. What's our slope here? 1, 2, 3. 3 on the side, 1 down below. Remember, it's always up and down over left to right. So my up and down, my rise, 3 over 1. But now I have to sit back. I have to think. What is the slope? Is it positive, negative? That's part of the slope. That's the number. But I need to know, is it positive, negative? Is it 0? Is it undefined? So think about slope dude. You cannot forget slope dude on your final today or tomorrow. Puff, puff, positive. Nice, negative. This is 0, fun, undefined. So what does this slope here match? It's negative. That means we have to go back through on our slope and put a negative symbol. Here is our slope between A and F. So when it asks you on your final, what's the slope? When you've got a picture, you can go through and you can draw a triangle. So now it's your turn to find what is the slope between E and H. So take a moment, you find the slope between E and H. All right, if you drew your triangle like I'm about to do, and I tried to erase it, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm gonna go back through. Oh, maybe now, no. E and H is here, so I've got 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 there. So my slope 4/1, and it is positive. The next part is knowing parallel, perpendicular, or neither slope. So you can find the slope, now we have to tell parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Parallel has those two L's. That is the same. There are posters on the wall that you can look at during the middle of the final. Parallel, exactly the same. Exactly. Perpendicular, one is positive, one is negative, and they're flipped. There's two different things going on here. And then finally, neither, anything that's not one of these two. So we have to go through and say what lines are parallel. To do that, you're going to have to go through and you're going to have to make a table for every single line. That means you're making 3 tables. So let's go ahead and I'll make the first table with you. So we've got a table, we've got our X and we have our Y. I'm going to do line D first. So this is D. It helps to label. I put it into 4, -1, 6. And then when I'm finding the slope, I subtract. So I do 4 minus 6, which gives me -2. I also do that on this side. 2 minus a -1. So when I get both of those, 2 minus -1 gives me 3. So here I've got my 2 and my 3. Whenever you do slope, it is y over x. So here, that's -2/3. That is the slope of line D. Now I have to go through, I need to find the slope of line E, and I need to find the slope of line F. You do that now. Find the slope of line E, find the slope of line F. Please go ahead and pause the video until you're done, and once you're done, then you can come back and start this video up again. All right, so you should have E and F done. Please have those done on your piece of paper. E, when I found E, I got -10. Ooh. Let's use this color instead. -10/8. Now notice, we can reduce those, and you have to do that on your final. You have to reduce. So I'm going to divide them both by 2, 5/4. There were 2 negatives here, top and bottom. That means they can go away. So I'm left with a positive 5/4. So now go ahead and take a look. I've got 5/4. I've got -2/3. Are those parallel? Because that was the question that was asked. What is parallel? Well, those don't look anything parallel. They're not the same because parallel means same. So I got to look at F. When I got F, I did get that -2/3. I'm going to look at D. I'm going to look at E. And I'm going to look at F. Are any of those 2 lines the same? You should be thinking in your head, yes. D and F are exactly the same. They're both -2/3, -2/3. So lines D and F are parallel. Alrighty, so that's about it for this first side. I need you to go ahead